All right, folks, we are back here live, Dell Technologies World 2018. We are down in the panel area, and we're halfway through day 3, right? A lot of cool stuff happening. One of the big things that we did this week is we introduced the new PowerMax, and we were thinking, well, we've got PowerMax, what could we possibly talk about, or who could we talk with if we have PowerMax? And we said, let's go out and let's find us some power users. And so what we have joining us today is actually an incredible set of customers, users representing great organizations that work very closely with VMAX and PowerMax on the product side. So I want to introduce some of the folks here. We have Sean Wiedage from Rackspace. Sean, you're the CTO for Enterprise.
Sure.
We have Mike Bowman from Enterprise Products, an oil and gas company,
yes.
Not Enterprise in the enterprise, but oil and gas, we'll make that distinction. Mike is the Director of Server and Storage Architecture for that organization. And then we have Walter Hooks, who joins us as the Enterprise Storage and Data Protection Manager with Cerner. Guys, how you doing?
Great.
Doing well,
All
thank you.
right, so let's start with you, Sean. So talk a little bit about what you do within the organization at Rackspace.
Yeah, so I've been at Rackspace almost since the inception. My day job is my teams help architect the complex solutions for our big enterprise customers. My other jobs are I spend a lot of time doing product prioritization, product feedback, customer briefings, just making sure that the products that we're rolling out meet the needs of our customers today and tomorrow.
So you work very closely with your users to understand their requirements and make sure that you've got the right infrastructure in place in order to support that.
Absolutely, and it's very important to understand our vendor roadmaps and how we map those to actual business outcomes for our customers.
Okay, and now Mike, what about you? What do you do at Enterprise?
So I've been there 19 years now, and my team runs the back-end infrastructure. So we're the plumbing, if you will, of IT. So everything from server, storage, our Citrix environment, you name it, that's our group.
Okay, and Walter?
Yes, I'm part of the storage and data protection, as you mentioned. Been in the business for over 30 years, with Cerner for 20 years. We're basically the core of the organization.
Excellent, excellent. And so you guys know, right, we introduced some new technology. We had some really major announcements yesterday. Mike and Sean in particular, you guys were part of our beta test program. So yes. You guys actually have had access to the system and the software for several months now. So you guys were able to do some of the testing. So Mike, what were some of the things that you guys liked about the platform as you were kind of testing it and sort of taking it through its paces to see what it could do?
So it was really interesting. Obviously it was proof of concept beta hardware, so we weren't going to put any real production loads or anything. So we put it in our lab environment and we started spinning up test machines and just trying to see how hard could we push it? Could we make it crack? Eventually we ran out of hardware to throw at it to test.
Well, you're at the right place because we can find you some more.
Right. And so at that point it was like, okay, I think we crossed somewhere around 700,000 IOPS. And keep in mind, we had the baby PowerMax.
Right. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like
it was mainly around functionality testing. I don't think it was intended to really do really high level benchmark performance level throughput.
But we also spent a lot of time with Unisphere 9, and that was really enlightening. Being able to see the new HTML5 interface, how much more intuitive, how much quicker, smoother it was versus the legacy Java interface. We were really, really excited about transitioning over to that.
Right, and I know, Sean, your team worked pretty closely with us as well as part of that beta program. What's some of the feedback that you've gotten from your folks?
Yeah, so we've got a little bit different use case. We have been a large-scale VMAX consumer over the years, and we do it in a couple different delivery models. One is single tenant, right, high-end, I need a lot of capabilities on the storage array. Second is multi-tenant, where I've got multiple workloads that are going against one device, and I may not know how those workloads are going to perform, and we don't always have great forecasting in terms of how the customer is going to scale up, scale down. The additional performance, the AI to be able to do some automated tiering and performance, the QoS, these are all critical pieces for us, particularly in this multi-tenant environment.
Absolutely. To
ensure that we're able to offer a proper service level to our customers.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I think over the years, just from the relationship, I think some of the feedback that you guys have had on some of these features are things that we've delivered in the past and continue to deliver as we innovate going forward. And so Walter, I know we don't have a PowerMax in the environment yet, but I know you are a huge VMAX shop. So talk a little bit about what you guys are using VMAX for.
Well, we currently use the VMAX for many of our legacy applications as well. And we have applications that are large consumers of IOPS. We have a single server that drives about 75,000 IOPS per server. So hearing about PowerMax and what it's capable of doing, when you talk about 10 million IOPS in 50 milliseconds, that's great news for us based on what we utilize the VMAX for.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of really pushing it from a performance and scale perspective. But I think the other cool part of that is you just think, back in the day, to get that level of performance, you're talking about basically a data center with rows and rows and rows of racks. Now you're talking a couple of cabinets,
right,
in order to deliver those same types of capabilities.
And not only that, when you hear that it has machine learning to optimize the performance, where you're taking performance out of the equation. And that's one of our challenges, right? Scale, performance, agile, and resiliency. That sounds like a really nice platform for that.
Yeah, the ability to be, what was the number? 6 billion decisions a day, right? So you don't have to make those decisions because, again, it's not a single application that you're running. You've got thousands, potentially tens of thousands of workloads that are running on that single infrastructure. So having those types of capabilities. What are some of the other things that you guys liked about the other new platforms? I know, Mike, we talked a little bit about some of the newer technology on the hardware side around the back end. You want to talk a little bit about, kind of what you liked about that?
Well, obviously, I have to say dual-ported NVMe drives, right?
Somewhere somebody is tipping a glass right now.
Exactly.
Bingo, yes, absolutely.
So yeah, that's a big thing. It is the transition from a SAS backend and SAS drives to NVMe and seeing what the capabilities are, and then not only that, looking at further down the road when SCM comes out, storage class memory, and the performance benefits are going to be even greater there. So some really great potential. It's very exciting.
Yeah, it is. And Sean, anything in particular for you as well?
Yeah, so for us as a service provider, the SCM piece, to be able to do that seamlessly, non-interruptive, that is key, right? We can't go and inform hundreds of our customers at a time that we've got a scheduled maintenance. It's just not acceptable. And then some of the migration toolings that we've got available, right? In-place migration, some of the compression, some of the deduplication. I mean, it's checking all the boxes that as service providers we need. And on top of that, the thing's dead sexy looking. Look at that.
Yeah, who wouldn't want one of those hanging around in the data center? It is a very cool looking machine, but it does other things, and that's
Absolutely.
That's a key point. What about? So we talked a little bit about yesterday in terms of some of the new reporting tools. A feature called Cloud IQ. So it's one of the tools that we've had available for some of the other Dell EMC platforms, and we're now moving to introducing that onto the VMAX. What did you guys think about that piece of the announcement?
To me, it was exciting. I actually did a demo earlier today and went to the Solutions Expo booth. It was really cool to see that you can get kind of this global dashboard, if you will, a management interface for people who aren't necessarily the geeks in the street. It's helpful and it's nice. So.
Yeah, I think the other cool piece of that is it's available not only as just a web-based portal that you can access, but there's a mobile app that's going to be available very shortly. So if you're sitting here in lovely Las Vegas and you want to go ahead and check your capacity reports or see if there are any alerts going on in the system, it's literally just hitting a couple of buttons on the phone in order to be able to do that. So the other thing, and I know, so you guys have been to multiple EMC worlds in the past, and now Dell Technologies World, and hopefully you guys will continue to come. But one of the things that I like to ask is, what do you take from this type of a conference? What are the things that get you to be able to get the approval to come here and literally take almost a week out of your lives to come and kind of geek out and talk about storage and servers and technologies? Walter, how about you?
I think it's exactly that. So you have the capability and availability to speak to the engineers and developers that have the vision of where this technology is going, and because Dell Technologies is a leader in the industry, they understand what their roadmap is and how it's going to help us in the healthcare division. It's exciting to basically be able to have one-on-one conversations with those types of engineers and developers is priceless.
Yeah, there's definitely no shortage of smart people walking around, and I think it's obviously on the Dell EMC side, but I think just being able to meet and kind of talk to some of your fellow users and get build some relationships and some understanding for some of the things that are maybe different or maybe common to what you guys are doing.
And certainly understanding of other customers of Dell Technologies and what they're doing, how they're utilizing within their companies. That's always interesting and very helpful.
Mike?
I agree completely. For me, the biggest benefit is that interaction, being able to talk to so many different product managers, product engineers, marketing folks at the same time, and I can go from one conversation to the next and gather so much great information. It's really hard to do that even at an EBC. We were off site.
Right.
Here everybody is here,
yeah.
which is fantastic. And then being able to talk to my peers, whether they're in medical or oil and gas or rack space, a hosting provider, it doesn't matter. A lot of the challenges that we all face are very common, right? Rack space is a completely different business model than us, but we have customers just the same as rack space has customers, right? And so we kind of deal with those same challenges, those differing workloads and those unpredictable workload requirements that nobody seems to be able to forecast. So.
Yeah, excellent. And what about you, Sean?
So I've been coming here since 2010-ish, right? And so every year it gets better and better.
Do you have all the T-shirts still?
I got a whole pile of swag at home. It's unbelievable. But so for a service provider, we could actually spend 2 weeks here. So it's great talking to the product teams and talking to understanding the roadmap direction, giving our feedbacks, what service providers need to have incorporated in the product. But I've also got customers out here I'm meeting with every day. I've also got go-to-market activities around meeting with Jay Snyder and the cloud service provider groups and figuring out how we're going to deepen our partnership to better serve our customers. And so literally I could spend 2 weeks out here. It might kill me, but I could spend that much time out here because there are times where there's 3 meetings I'd like to be able to attend at once and you just can't do it all.
Right, right, and I can tell you, being from on the Dell EMC side, one of the things that we absolutely value about having you guys all here is to be able to talk to you, because I think when we sit in our conference rooms and we have our whiteboards and our debates about technology, we're trying to do the right thing, but it's great to be able to talk to different users with different use cases and really understand what are the things that you guys need from requirements, and while we would like to do everything, we can't always do everything. So how do we prioritize those things and making sure that we can get the most out of what we're doing to be able to meet your requirements and hopefully make your lives easier. So guys, I really want to thank you guys for coming in and spending some time with us. This has been a great discussion. I know we're almost at the end. We've got a little bit of time today, some stuff going on tomorrow, so hopefully you guys enjoy what's left of this, and I hope we'll see everybody again. Maybe we'll come back and we'll hang out on the stage and we'll talk about some new technologies. Walter will tell us how much he loves his all the PowerMaxes that he's running in his environment, so that'd be a great discussion. Okay, absolutely, guys, thanks a lot. We're going to take a quick break right now. But again, don't go anywhere. We've got a lot more stuff coming up later today, in the next couple of minutes, in the next couple of hours, so don't go anywhere. We will be right